Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we re-delving into some of the most perplexing and haunting mysteries of our time. Missing persons cases where individuals seemed to vanish into thin air. These stories are not just tales of the unknown. They represent real people, real families, and real heartache. We'll explore these cases with the utmost respect, hoping to bring awareness and keep their memories alive. Let us start with one of the most famous cases in American history, the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. In 1937, the pioneering aviator embarked on a daring attempt to circumnavigate the globe. Alongside her navigator, Fred Noonan, she took off from Lamay, New Guinea on July 2nd, heading for Howland Island, a tiny speck in the vast Pacific Ocean. They never arrived. Their last known radio transmission was faint and garbled, indicating they were low on fuel and couldn't find the island. Despite one of the most extensive search and rescue efforts in U.S. naval history, no trace of Earhart, Noonan, or their Lockheed Electra 10E was ever found. Theories abound, from crashing and sinking into the ocean to being captured by the Japanese, to even surviving as castaways on an uninhabited island. But after more than 80 years, the fate of Amelia Earhart remains one of aviation's greatest unsolved mysteries. Next, we travel to England for a case that has baffled investigators for decades. The disappearance of Andrew Gostin. On September 14, 2007, 14-year-old Andrew, gifted student with a perfect school attendance record, did something completely out of character. He skipped school, withdrew £200 from his bank account, and bought a one-way train ticket from his hometown of Doncaster to London. CCTV footage captured him arriving at King's Cross Station that morning. He was last seen walking out of the station's main entrance at 11:20 a.m., and then he vanished. He hadn't told anyone his plans. He took no extra clothes, no passport, and not even his video game charger. His family had no idea why he would go to London. They had no friends or relatives there. Despite numerous appeals, age-progressed photos, and extensive police investigations, there has been no credible sighting of Andrew Gostin since that day. Why did a brilliant, seemingly happy teenager make a secret trip to the capital, only to disappear without a trace? Now, let's look at the chilling case of the Soda Children. On Christmas Eve, 1945, in Fayetteville, West Virginia, a fire broke out at the home of George and Jenny Soda. They and 4 of their 9 children managed to escape the blaze. Tragically, 5 of their children, Morris, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were believed to have perished inside. But when the fire was extinguished, a shocking discovery was made. No remains of the 5 children were found in the ashes. The official explanation was that the fire was hot enough to completely cremate the bodies. But the Soda family never believed it. They pointed to strange circumstances before the fire, like a mysterious phone call and a man seen watching the children. George Soda's ladder, which he always kept by the house, was missing. His trucks, which he could have used to reach the upstairs windows, mysteriously wouldn't start. For the rest of their lives, the Sodas maintained that their children were abducted, possibly in retaliation for Georgia's outspoken criticism of the local Sicilian mafia. They even put up a billboard with the children's pictures, offering a reward for information, which stood for over 30 years. To this day, the fate of the Soda children is a heartbreaking puzzle. Let's turn our attention to a more recent, but equally baffling, case from Malaysia. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 on March 8, 2014. The Boeing 777 carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members departed from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. Less than an hour into the flight, it disappeared from civilian radar screens. Military radar, however, tracked the plane as it deviated from its planned flight path, crossing back over the Malay Peninsula and flying south over the Indian Ocean. Then it vanished completely. The most extensive and expensive search in aviation history was launched, covering a massive area of the ocean floor, but the main wreckage has never been located. A few pieces of debris confirmed to be from MH370 have washed ashore on the African coast and nearby islands, thousands of miles away. But these fragments offer few clues as to what happened. Was it a deliberate act by the pilot? A catastrophic mechanical failure? A hijacking, with the black boxes and the bulk of the aircraft still missing? The world is left to speculate about the fate of the 239 souls on board. Another case that continues to haunt Australia is the disappearance of the Beaumont children. On Australia Day, January 26, 1966, Jane Arner and Grant Beaumont, aged 9, 7 and 4, took a short bus ride from their home to Glenelg Beach near Adelaide. They were expected home by noon. They never returned. Witnesses reported seeing the children playing on the beach with a tall, thin man with blonde hair. They were even seen buying snacks with him at a local cake shop, seemingly happy and not under duress. This was the last confirmed sighting. An enormous police investigation and public search followed, but no trace of the children or the man was ever found. The case changed Australian society forever, marking an end of an era where parents felt comfortable letting their children play unsupervised. Over the years, numerous suspects have been investigated and sites have been excavated, but every lead has turned cold. The disappearance of the Beaumont children remains one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. Finally, we have the strange case of Brandon Swanson on the night of May 14, 2008. 19-year-old Brandon was driving home from a party in rural Minnesota when his car slid into a ditch. He called his parents on his cell phone for help. He told them he was near the town of Lind, but when his parents arrived, they couldn't find him. They stayed on the phone with him for 47 minutes, flashing their lights and honking, but neither could see the other. Brandon described walking through fields and hearing water, believing he was heading towards the lights of a nearby town. Then, in the middle of a sentence, he suddenly shouted an expletive and the line went dead. He was never heard from again. Searches began immediately. Police were able to pinpoint his last location using cell tower data, which was actually 25 miles away from where Brandon thought he was. His car was found, but extensive searches of the surrounding area, including the Yellow Medicine River, which he may have been near, revealed nothing. No Brandon, no cell phone, no clues. How could someone vanish while on the phone with his parents in an area he believed he knew? These cases are just a few of the thousands of stories of people who have vanished. Each one is a profound tragedy, leaving families and friends in a state of perpetual uncertainty. They remind us of the fragility of life and the deep mysteries that can lie just beneath the surface of our everyday world.